I have reviewed this movie before, but it didn't age well. So anyhow, I decided to do a re-review of this movie. Reasons why is because my opinion on the movie changed a tiny bit. I went back to essays type style videos because doing on camera videos with no scripts wears me out. And I want to discuss more about this movie and more about my opinions and thoughts about it. So without any further ado, let's begin. The Loud House movie is a 2021 Nickelodeon film based on the anime Loud House series released by Netflix, the last hope to dying or struggling movies that are trying to get into movie theaters. The movie revolves around Lincoln Loud, who's tired of being second bested by his sisters, as he feels himself as while the sisters are superstars in this movie. So when Lincoln gets an idea on meeting relatives from a different country thanks to Clyde, the Louds discover they have relatives in Scotland. However, when they get there, they got more what they bargained for.
Are you really Louds?
Yeah, we sure are!
Then welcome to Loch Loud!
Loch Loud?
That's right, lad. This town was founded by your ancestors.
When Lincoln discovers his ancestors was a duke, he seeks to fill in his great cousin's shoes into being in the spotlight, no matter on who to trust. The story is actually really good. It drives what it's trying to accomplish onto you, making you feel for the characters, especially for Lincoln, and what he dreams on becoming, very popular. And he doesn't want to rely on social media to get that fame, which is actually quite relatable for me. Even though I'm like a celebrity at school, I want to be recognized outside of the town and all around. I do have a few complaints, however. Nothing that hurts the story, just some nitpicks. The characters with arcs that are mostly important for me are scraped aside, leaving Lincoln, Angus, and Morag as the main stars. But that's my silly opinion talking. The story has some nice jokes that are quite funny, heavy moments that make me feel sad when it tells me to feel sad or cry, and it did that justice. The characters are quite enjoyable too, even the ones who don't have enough screen time for me to like them completely, but it works for me. Lincoln, of course, has an arc on being popular and wanting to become the Duke when he learns on his family's history, even seeking the help of Loch Loud's groundskeeper, Angus, who is voiced by David Tennant, who did Scrooge McDuck in the 2017 DuckTales series, which ended months before this movie came out. Angus is my favorite character in this movie because he helps not only Lincoln on what it means to be a Duke, but the townsfolk as well, since he is a groundskeeper. He's humble, generous, and a fun character when he appears on the screen.
Watch your step, Mrs. Turnberry.
Thank you, Angus. Someday someone will help us fix this silly town.
One can only hope, Mom.
While Angus is mostly the angel to Lincoln's right shoulder, the main villain Morag is the devil on the left shoulder. Voiced by Michelle Gomez, Morag is a character whose family despises the Louds, so much so her ancestors drove the original Louds away 400 years ago. When the Louds arrived and Lincoln becomes a Duke, she takes matters into her own hands and does this game, which is actually quite smart in my opinion. Although many people say Morag is the weakest villain, I say she's the best villain ever. Her wants on why she hates the Louds and wants them gone is because she likes the peace and quiet around the castle, and the Louds are mostly taking that away from her. She's ruthless, manipulative, and crazy. Morag is just my favorite villain, flaws or not. Lucille is alright. She only appears for a few minutes, and she interacts with Lucy a lot and helps with the Louds when the third act begins. The characters help drive the story along, and they did it with ease and a bit of luck. What's a Loud House story without some songs to help as the backup engine to drive the story along? They're catchy, written well, and I love all of them. In fact, I was listening to them on YouTube while writing the script for this review. Lincoln's songs like Ordinary Me, I'm Going to Be the Duke, The Loud Castle, My Way Back Home, and Let's Get Lost Together are mostly around Lincoln, and has a secret message that revolves around his arc. And they're all sung by Lincoln's voice actor, Asher Bishop, who does a phenomenal job with the songs. Other songs like This Town Is Named For You and Life Is Better Loud is slightly great boppers when you have the urge to dance boiling in your veins. But when you're on the road, you can listen to Now or Never to tell yourself there's always an adventure when you go somewhere for the day or a vacation. However, the Duchess I Will Be is downright scary when it drives on what Morag wants to do in the movie later on, and it makes my palms sweat. I wouldn't say it's weak, but it's a decent song that's good for Halloween or the feeling to be spooky. The Loud House movie is a fun movie, with animation that's eye candy, characters that's relatable, catchy and memorable songs, and a funny and scary and sad story. This film is a royal ride of epic proportions that's with either a nice continuation for a series or a start for newcomers to the Loud House fanbase. Give the movie a watch. If you have a taste for adventure or just want to see a simple anime movie, then this movie is made for you.
I'm good with that.
I love you, Lincoln. Aww.
Warm feelings.